Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Mr. Sosa 21 Gaming Worldwide. We're just going to be going over what I'm going to be taking to the Appalachian Trail on my 2-day, 1-night hike. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and consider doing so today. I definitely appreciate you. We're going to be going over a quick overview as far as what is my gear. We're going to be going over what my clothing is going to be, my habitat, my essentials, my backpack, as well as some of the meals that I'm going to be taking along the way. So I hope you enjoy this video, and don't forget, like I said, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely appreciate all your support. Thank you. Alright guys, so this is pretty much everything that I'm going to be taking on the Appalachian Trail, or the AT as most of y'all may know it. We're going to be going over pretty much everything that I'm going to be fitting into this bag. Starting off with the backpack, I'm going to be taking the Nemo Rhino series. This is a 65 liter backpack. In there, I'm going to be fitting pretty much just basing it from the bottom up. At the very bottom, it has its own pouch for the sleeping pad, or excuse me, the sleeping bag. And then on the top in the main compartment, I'm going to be putting the Boss Nature one-person standalone tent and stack everything accordingly above that. In the middle, I'm going to be having most of the heavier stuff because I don't want it to be pulling me back, or I don't want most of the weight at the bottom weighing me down and putting that pressure on my back. Also, we're going to be going over the essential gear, my habitat, what I brought for that. As far as the clothing is concerned, we're going to be going over my footwear, what I'm going to be wearing as far as pants, my mid layer, as well as my top layer, what's going to protect me from all the rain, the weather, the wind, all that great stuff. As far as the essential gear, it's going to be mostly the water filtration system, my canister, as well as my lighting and my first aid kit gear, and my trekking poles. We're going to be going over each item individually so you can have a closer perspective on what the item is and why I chose it. A lot of this stuff I chose because it was a budget item, and this is going to be my first trip to the Appalachian Trail. First off, I'm going to be talking about the backpack. This is the 65 liter Nemo Rhino. I got the 65 liter because I wanted to make sure that I could contain most of my materials inside the bag. Just in case if it rained, I'll be able to cover everything with its built-in rain cover. That way it can protect everything, keep everything nice and dry. One thing I love about this bag, it's super sleek, super tactical with all the compartments that go along with it. It has this mid-section zipper area, so it gives you the opportunity to get everything that's in the middle of the pack without having to pull everything out from the top. Next up on the list is going to be my habitat. This trip is going to be my first backpacking trip, so what I wanted to do is make sure that I got something that was lightweight, compact, and that fit within my budget range. I decided to go with the Boss Nature one-person standalone tent with the Boss Nature sleeping footprint, just to go ahead and pair it with the same company. Here, just basically just the underline of the one-person tent. Unlike other tents I've used in the past, which are normally pop-up tents, which are easy to use, they're not very compact. Being that I needed to fit everything into my book bag, I decided to go with the Boss Nature. It's about 3 pounds, just over 3 pounds, and it's definitely doable within my range of weight. Next up, I'm going to be talking about my sleeping bag. My sleeping bag, I decided to go with a Teton mummy style 20-degree R-rated sleeping bag. I didn't want to go too hot. I was tossing between the 0 degree and the 20 degree, but I wanted to make sure that I slept comfortably in the night, and I think we're going to be up against some pretty decent weather this coming up week. As far as my pillow is concerned, I decided to go with the Wise Owl. It's a memory foam pillow. Keeps you nice and warm from the elements and keep you off the ground. And as far as my sleeping pads are concerned, I got hooked up with the Nemo Switchblade, and I also am going to double up with the Sleep and Go inflatable sleeping pad. I got a lower back issue, so I want to make sure that I'm nice and comfortable overnight, and I wake up in the morning ready to go for the next hiking day. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about my clothing and my footwear really quick. I decided to go with the Merrell Gore-Tex. They're waterproof, super lightweight compared to the mid-calf boots that I normally wear for ankle support. Based off the research that I've done, you don't really need much ankle support within the first trek of the Appalachian Trail. Georgia trails are pretty well kept, so I decided to go with something a little bit more lightweight. That way I can be a little bit more happier on the trail and don't feel so weighed down. Speaking of footwear, as far as what I'm pairing with my boots, I decided to go with a merino wool sock. For my mid layer, I decided to go with thermal compression pants. That way I can keep all the moisture within and away from my body, and this dissipates the moisture pretty well compared to like cotton blended material that would pretty much just stick onto your body and give you a miserable time and keep you cold. Also for my mid layer, I'm going with a polyester spandex mixed shirt. That'll keep the same material, keep that sweat off my body, keep me nice and warm. For my pants, I got the tactical waterproof pants. These are something I purchased off of Amazon. These are the Free Soldier fleece waterproof pants, fleece lining, so I want to make sure that I keep nice and warm on the trail. One thing that I am not accustomed to is the cold. I'm a Puerto Rican native, so I'm originally accustomed to the Caribbean weather. So as long as I feel like I'm in the Caribbean inside, I'm gonna be a happy camper. So that's why I got that gear. As far as my top shell is concerned, or mid shell, I'm gonna have my fleece that goes over my main layer, and as a top layer, I'm gonna be utilizing my military rain parka. This is always something that I've used on my fishing trip. I'm a veteran of the Air Force, so that's something that's always come clutch for me, so I'm going to continue to utilize it. And it's always been great with a rain, cold situation, keeping that wind out, keeping me nice and warm inside. We may run into a little bit of rain whenever we go into the hike. It's forecasted that we may receive 1 day of rain. It's about a 70 to 90% chance of rain that day. So what I did to kind of multiply the waterproofing against my feet is I decided to go with a pair of gaiters. These are a Pasanava gaiter pair. I got these online off of Amazon as well. These are pretty decently made, high quality, and I definitely look forward to utilizing these if and when it rains. Alright guys, let's talk a little bit about essential gear. I'm going to keep everything lightweight. Like I said, it's only about a 2-day, 1-night hike. So what I'm going to bring to help me kind of trek along the way are these trekking poles. These are the Cascade trekking poles. You can find these anywhere at your local outdoor retail store. These are really great. I've used these a couple of times already. They work perfectly, like a dream. Also, quick tip as far as when you're utilizing these trekking poles, the proper way of utilizing them, you want to put your hands through, under, that way will give you more support and you'll be able to control it and put less pressure on you whenever you're utilizing them. Also, let's talk first aid. My wife hooked me up with this first aid. It has everything inside: band-aids, blister band-aids, AAA ointment, burn ointment, anything you can think of. It has wound dressing gel. It has it all, you know. So it's super compact, small, so I can fit that in my pack. Here, something that's overlooked, and I think it's pretty much a luxury. I decided to go with a microfiber towel. That way, if I do get sweaty or if I need to dry off after a rainy day, this is going to be in my pack. This is going to be a charm when it comes to the rainy days, and as long as everything stays dry within my pack, that's going to come in clutch at the campsite. Let's talk a little bit about lighting. I decided to go with the Danfoss 1100 lumens flashlight. It is really bright. Sorry about that, guys. It has 3 phases, and it also has a red light mode, which I think I'm going to be utilizing quite often at the camp. That way I can keep all the predators away and it wouldn't bother them. Another thing that my wife hooked me up with is a lantern. This one also has a 3-step mode, and it also has a red light mode. So that one was really, really cool. Thank you for that, my love. I also have the Stanley Adventure cooking set. This is your cooker up top, this top right here, and inside you have a couple of plastic cups that you can utilize. This right here is a 20-ounce container, and it's super compressed, and you can keep everything within the container itself, and it locks up just like that. Let's talk a little bit more about water filtration. I decided to go with the Sawyer Mini water filtration system. It comes with the pouch as well as the filtration system and the tube. And also, as a backup, have the Life Strong. This is just in case if anything goes south, I'll be able to have a backup plan available for me. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about something that's important, which is food. Food, water, all that great stuff. As much as we recommend that you pack light, you know, at the end of the day, it's on you what you want to bring, but the lighter you pack, the better an experience that you're going to have, because you're going to be way more comfortable. That's why I decided to go with the mini Sawyer water filtration system as far as the drink is concerned. As far as food, we decided to go on this trip with the MRE style packaging food, something that's meal ready. We just add water to it, and with the chemical compounds inside, it'll heat up and we can just eat out of the bag. As far as snacks are concerned, we're probably going to take jerky, trail mix, and some chips and stuff like that. It's important to keep in mind that depending on the situation or the area that you're trekking in, to be aware of your environment and the predators that could be lurking around you. My situation in the Appalachian Trail, a high population of black bears are in the area. In this time of year, we've got to make sure that we protect ourselves by having the bear containers or the food bag sacks that you can tie up in ropes and keep yourself safe within the bear's range of smell, which is a couple of miles, so keep that in mind as well. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to go over with you guys so far today. The next video should be us going on the trail itself. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so now. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you stay tuned. Peace. It's going to be pretty exciting. The Rebel is going to be included there. It's 11th Planet. It's Lucky T. No.